What's up, Sam? What's up, Dylan? Sorry for the late start at that webinar, and then I had a one-on-one. Okay. Asia open long, top 3 to 2, immediately bounced. Enter with 5 micros and add 10 more as we continue more bullish volatility. Adding when live price receded. Okay. Helms, I'd like to see a VWAP on here as well. Got your $1,500 winning day. I'd also. Okay. Privacy setting took the exact same trade. Got in first, got stopped out, then got in again. 2 accounts. Okay. So this stop, it's too tight, bro. Why do you have a 7-point stop? Even in the overnight, like, it should be a wider stop on this personally. No, what's up, George? What's good, George? Sorry. Okay, same trade from privacy setting as Helms. Helms, add that VWAP in there because it did perfectly tap that. Privacy setting, yeah, just too tight of a stop on this. So, I get you're using 2 minis and you want a tight stop, but if we're using 2 minis, you know, we give it a 10-point stop, it's $400. Why no live on Discord? Okay, the reason is because I will record the trade review. When people ask me to record it, I forget to post it. So if I just do it on live, then it's available for everyone afterwards. Yeah, Rocky, I just started. So, yeah, I get we're using 2 minis. You want tight risk, but maybe we just start out with 1 and then scale into 2 if we want to do that. I'd like to see some management on these trades as well, just overall risk. I do like this trade, Helms. Just add in that VWAP in there just so you can see it. I also like adding into it. I can't see the executions, but adding into it as you see the momentum, especially in the overnight. You guys should also have the volume on the bottom here so you can see, you know, what price is doing. Asia long win NQ, 317 risk, 718 win, 2.6 RR, 2.26. Okay, exact same trade. How price was moving was looking like clear bullish A+ setup. This seems so obvious to me entry wise. Only thing is the stop is 20 points, giving it some space, thinking it's too much. Sometimes I think it's too little. Was a bit aggressive with the stop at the end as I was just trying to trail 5-minute candles, but didn't want to be too greedy. Okay, it's valid. See you, Dylan. I like the entry and I like the ad on it when you get that confirmation. I think the stop's fine here. Looking for the high break. Okay. So partials and trailed. Okay. You held on to 5 this time with your partials. Trailing the stair step up. You should probably be taking more partials at that point too as well. But trailing with the stair step up is fine. Typically it's just in the overnight. Sometimes you do get that stair step isn't as clean as in the New York session. I do like this trade though. Solid trade. Confident, rating 5. Great. When you see price react this strongly off it, like once you see that this is pushing on this second candle, and then once this third candle pushes, yeah, once that big candle pushes, you did adjust it. Yeah, you adjust to stop properly. I have no issue with this. Great trade. Gold 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern IB 618. Fib plus VWAP equals 50K funded. Okay, y'all love that gold strat. This is clean. I can't see the price levels, so shorter time frame fib. This is also an area. I actually looked at this the other day. This is an area where we previously bounced. It's a different fib level as well. So, you know, taking this here, you know, it's all right. When we get down here and we, you know, we're bouncing out of where we wicked out before, I would like my stop to be on that wick. It's the same stop. It's just you have more risk on it because of the entry. I don't really have too much of an issue with this as long as you got in right here. That's fine to me. But good trade. I like the system. Solid system. 2 long attempts on gold. Bias bullish. Asia bullish. Framing. Bounced off high time frame fib. Got bought up from Asia VWAP. Late entry. Gave it 2 attempts and moved on. Minus 386. Bad. Late entries. Good. 2 attempts. Took the loss and moved on. Okay. Solid Ziki. You didn't overtrade this. Okay. Let's see the fib. I like the fib. From this low to this high. You could also do from here to here or from here to here. This one looks valid to me, this pivot point. So if you anchor from here to here, that tells you it's valid. And then from here to here, you probably have another valid pivot point. You're also coming into that POC. When I'm looking at this range, I would probably take this volume profile all the way back, like back a bit further into this range, because you see how these lows tap into these highs. I want to consider the volume from the entirety of this range. So bring this volume profile a little bit back further and see if you can gain more information from it. Yeah, let's see the trade. Okay. Yeah, little, like, I would prefer to get in down here. This looks like a 618 to me from this low to this high. Good risk management on that. 2 demo losses, same trade setup I took last 3 days, but it worked 1 out of 3 times. Targeting high break with fib levels and New York VWAP, then 618 session VWAP in low volume node. Okay, got stopped on that. The one, okay, Dylan, the main issue, not the main issue, but one of the things I see pretty consistently in your trades is we are getting back in. We are jumping back in very quickly most of the time. So we get stopped here and we get it back in on the same 5-minute candle, which sometimes that's fine, but you know, when we're doing it over and over again, it might drive us insane. Not too bad of losses, $200 losses. Those are recoverable. I mean, you had a trade the other day, up 7.8, 7.18 from the overnight session. I'm fine with this trade. I understand the thought process of it. The high set second, low set first. We were in a resistance zone, so take that into context, right? If I look at my charts on Thursday. Okay. Where are we at on Thursday? These FOMC lows, right? This previous strong break of structure to the downside. We want to make note of that. Where do we push up into? We push up into there, and then we start to sell off. We're struggling up here. So check those levels. Just make note of them, especially if it's FOMC or CPI or whatever it is. Usually those come into play. Rocky P. My man Rocky. My man Rocky. Hold up. Let me get some of my Panda Express real quick. I haven't eaten shit all day, so I've been busy. 15-minute orb. Bias was up for the day. Tried to be clever and front run the 15-minute orb. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it works. Only 3 cons because it's a risky play. Lost 145. 3 micros. Okay. You know, I don't hate it. $145 loss. Rocky, the one thing I would say is you have excellent risk management on every single trade I see. Like, you don't let these losers tilt you. $150. You knew it was kind of risky. You sized down. Appropriate. IB play. Buy still up. Spy Max 7's stocks all mixed. No clear signal. Tried IB 618, but wanted to see a little more buying and wicking. Lost on trade. 2 trades. Both lost. Down 395. No clear direction and tired. Shutting it down. Solid. Even though we lost, right? 25 points for the risk management. The entry's a little bit high on this. You know, if the closer we can get to VWAP, the better. But I understand the thought process. Same one as Dylan. But yeah, I mean, Rocky, you took what? You lost $400. I've seen your some days you have 10x that profit, so I wouldn't be too worried about it. Get discipline on your part. GCH IB, first trade IB plus session VWAP was expecting to get a little above my other VWAP and 15-minute 8 EMA, so I anticipate trend ran like 3 points. Moved stop to break even and got stopped. Very happy about trade management. Second trade, re-entry a bit lower. IB low was near, low probability of double break, high time frame, fib 0.5 PA under session VWAP, low volume, no previous day high. Target was previous session high. I could use my normal size 2 lots as my stop was too far out. I couldn't use my normal size, a bit lower than IB low. Overall happy about this trade. My mental wasn't the best entering my first trade. I know I wouldn't have taken it if I wouldn't have missed out on a huge trade that day. Okay, valid. So you're noting that. Okay. So you took this first trade as break even. I'm fine with this. The second trade, it's clean. High to low. This is right inside the fib. Right under your VWAP, and sellers didn't push it lower. Clean exit. So overall up on the day. I like the mental note of it, Sam. Always make sure you're in a good mental state when you're trading. If your risk is, if you're not in a good mental state, I mean, I was telling Amy this. If you should be journaling pre-market and post-market. If you're having issues with your emotions, and what I told her is, if you come into the day and you're feeling great and good, then use your regular lot size. If you're feeling average, then size down a little bit. If you're feeling really shit, then use a smaller lot size. Trying to get better at entries. Yeah, entries are the hardest part, in my opinion. 110R, 200 points, SMT plus absorption. Clean Morgan, this might be trade of the day. Wrote it all the way down. I don't like the 1 minute chart, though. Don't like the 1 minute chart. Entry on MNQ short. Also, I would like to know the management of this. How you trailed stops. Demo 3, entry on MNQ short. I think I was trailing my stop loss too tight. Maybe I should try trailing on 15 minutes instead of 5, or just giving a little more room. Wasn't keen on the retrace back up to the 0.2 fib level, so I didn't re-enter. 150 Prava on the day, risk 6 micros with a 167 tick stop loss. I like this short, but we are past extension levels, so not ideal for the entry, but it did look like a trend day. If we're following the 8 EMA, then yeah, use that 15 minute. Use the 15 minute to trail. We are getting more of these trend days, so you guys should know how to trade them. If I'm looking at a trend day, like Thursday, that's Tuesday. Thursday. Okay, so this is selling. If I look at the 15 minute, look at the EMA on the 15 minute. Okay, this 8 EMA can help us on the 15 minute. So the ideal entry was to pop up here. This was a 382 tap. And then this keeps selling off. It goes past all the extension levels. If I'm looking at this, do we ever have a clean break above this 8 EMA for this entire trade? No, there isn't. Until here. This is where you get your clean break and the trend changes. But this just continues all the way lower. So if I just adjust my stop on each new 15-minute candle that prints, as long as it's strong, I'm fine. So if I took this trade, I short here, Mercer short, 520 area. So if I take this short based off continuation, 520 area, and I just put it on the last 15-minute candle, that was strong. It'd probably be up here, but even if I did this one, it's a pretty tight stop. We keep running down. Okay, this prints a strong 15-minute candle. Bring it here. Okay, cool. We keep running down. When's the next strong 15-minute candle that prints? This one's decently strong. This one's also decently strong. I could either adjust it to this one or this one. And then this one's also strong, so I could adjust it to the highs there, or even start to trail on the 5-minute as that goes further and further in profit. We did hit a bunch of lower end extensions, so typically we don't see that, but we do have trend days. Extra trade with lows being made. Wanted to see reaction with volume to upside. Wanted to see confirmation on 15 with volume increasing. Gave up some to see if move was sustainable. Had 25-point stop loss and targeted between 0.5 and 0.618 and VWAPs were there as confluence. Target hit. More importantly, 1 to 2 RR achieved. Okay, I like it, Rocky. I like the stop in profit. You saw a bear flag and start to move out of that. Just caught this on the momentum. Bingo. I like that. But yeah, if we're having these trend days, use EMAs. EMAs are great for trend days. Oh, extension trade. Gotcha. Also, what else could we see here, Rocky? What else do we see on Thursday? I know you're on Central Time, but if we're here at 3 p.m., if we get in at the 80s, I mean, we'd have to have a pretty wide stop on it, but you could size low and set your stop to low of day because it shouldn't go down there. But yeah, even if we do it on this structure, I like this little retest. So if I can get a clean entry at the 80s and set my stop to 47, it's a 40-point stop, so maybe I just reduce my size on that because it shouldn't come down and break this low. And then we do get that pop. It was very clean. One break even, one L. Okay. Trying it again on the same 5-minute. 3-minute, actually. Okay. I think the entry's a little early. Yeah, it looks like we had a solid reaction off that 618. I'd still try it. I don't hate the trade. We just lose some. Maybe wait a bit on that re-entry when we see the doji candle as well, because these doji candles usually have a strong reaction after them. Obviously oversized, but was demo trade, just testing stuff. Okay. I think Morgan had the best trade here. Okay. 382 VWAP low volume note, then added and stops below 618, 20 points. 0.2 of 75, ran right to it. Worked out because it retraced 4.3. Okay. Even though it's demo, right, this combine's been blown. Still use the same size, Dylan. We want to just practice the same habits. I like the trade, though. I mean, this is very similar to one you took previously. Make sure you have a volume thing on your chart at the bottom, because you could see the volume float in last night. This was the same trade I took. I just got in a little early. I got in at this consolidation area right at VWAP. The ideal entry was down at the 618. So you got a better entry than me. But yeah, added that little volume bit to the bottom, especially if you're trading overnight, because it can help you see, okay, the volume's actually flowing in and it's bullish. Another paper trade on gold for adjusted gold strat, trailing it on paper with smaller size using fib, VWAP, CB, and a bit of intuition. 2.8 RR, target was Asia high. Clean entry. Clean entry. On that. And then do we take a short as well? Both of these look clean. I mean, this one looks really clean. I like this first one. 10 points. As this starts to rally away from your entry, just tighten the stop up. And then you can trail off the 5 minutes if they're strong enough. GC Asia IB. Late trade, was very patient, was hesitant to take that first 0.5 short because IB didn't break and didn't like the stats by rejection, so I didn't take. My trade came at like 1 a.m. frame, tapped into the volume shelf, 0.5 fib, session VWAP, IB breakdown, had a perfect exit. I didn't want to hold through London Open and saw small demand zone. Fortunately, don't have good picks of management. I was in bed on my phone. Not ideal. P&L, plus 950. Was this a short? Yeah, short at the 0.5. Okay. This is nice. I would take the fib. When the range is this big, I would really only pay attention to the fib from this candle high to this low. This was a 618 tap almost perfectly. I know Jaron took this and wrote it down for like 30 points on it or something. But yeah, check those fibs. I'll mark this out actually. So if I'm looking, let me get out of here. So whenever, okay, on gold likes to range or trend. If I look at this on a higher time frame, wherever we rejected from, okay, we rejected here, rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. We come back up to that level. Do we think we're going to have, when we have a breakout of an asset, does it typically happen with a 5-minute candle? 1 5-minute candle? Do we typically have a breakout? No. So when this pops and immediately sells off, this makes me bearish. And if I'm looking at the fib from here to here, 618 tap, that sells off. That's the perfect trade here. If I didn't catch this one, right? 0.5 again, right here. Boom. Okay, maybe I didn't catch that one. Maybe I'm up. Maybe I'm up at 830. Boom. 618.5 sells off. Right. So, gold has been very clean. I know Jaron's looking at trading it more. Pre-New York Open, tried along with very small size doing to volatility, was only risking 180. Frame, 0.5 VWAP, 15 minute 8 EMA, got stopped, would retake this. Okay. Yeah, in the screenshots, I'd like to see these, just so I can see the level. This was 0.5 with VWAP. I don't hate it, but when we haven't reclaimed this wick, when we haven't pushed back above this wick, or even this from pre-market, I don't really want to be taking this. Market open strong, 786, low risk, scaled to 1K profit. Okay, clean privacy setting. I like the management on it as well. You were in a little bit of drawdown, but getting out of it. This is why it's nice to use micros, because you could sell like 2 micros here and get rid of pretty much all your drawdown. This is a clean trade though. Haven't been trading great at all lately, so today felt great. Went back to fundamental of the system and it played out perfectly. Cut short higher in the range, back down to VWAP. I caught that same one. Trailed so tight because it was enough to bring me to 2K, which is a good day for me. No need to squeeze more out of it. Okay. Caught the short. This is exactly what my executions look like. Caught the short, then I caught the long back to the upside. I like the trails on this. I like the continued trails. And then I think you got stopped on that. But 2300, clean. Yeah. First trade on a new combine, quite annoying. I barely got stopped out by 2 ticks. Trailing would have been 50% done with the account. In hindsight, I could have taken partials and just wide stop to go for a $1,500 day. Or just look at the stats would play out with a wider stop. But in my head, I trailed as I believed I was supposed to when close to TP, 5 micros. Then I had a 5 in drawdown, 0.5 low volume note session VWAP towards direction of high break. $282 of risk, win, $1,000. I wouldn't be upset about this at all, Dylan. You're up $1,000. You don't need to pass it in 2 days. Right? I like the ad on it. I like the tight risk. Maybe give it a little bit more room. Yeah, if your target's just the high of day, you know, I like the trailing. I like the trailing. If you're out for 1,000, bro, either you're making 1,000 or you're making 1,500. You got a 3.75 RR. You know, I think it's a great trade. Demo 3, day 2 on Demo 3, took a long, was hoping to squeeze more out of this, but got stopped by a wick. Trailing under 5-minute closes, getting more aggressive as price pushed up. Should have had under 5-minute FVG, but it is what it is. Took 621, 6 micros. I think I could do with upping the sizing. As my stop loss was only 108 ticks, I just don't want to wait for the candle close on this one like I normally do. Just waited for some rejection from the downside and trusted the stats. Okay. Too tight to stop. Okay, 621. Yeah, same trade. I'm sure a lot of people caught this. Yep, the trailing, it's going to be up to you if you want to trail off every 5-minute close. When we get up here and we make this base, it should move higher. So you can wait till this base forms to trail, even trailing up to here, and then just you see the base. Okay, I'm just going to set my low at the base, or stop at the base. Yeah. Maybe shot initial thought that it might not come down further. So looking at other confluences, took the trade and it went sideways, held the stop because nothing was changing confluence-wise. Got stopped with small stop loss. Yeah, I remember this. You're like, why are you looking at shorts? All the Mag 7's up. Apple ripped today. Apple was up like 5% today. But yeah, I was looking at this, and to me, you know, we were in resistance. Not seeing strong enough momentum for my liking. So I took the short to the downside. Let it come down to that 0.5 and then rally out of it. And we should have at least retraced to the 25% of the IB level, which we did. IB second chance, PA going lower, overnight VWAP. I don't necessarily hate the trade, it's just we didn't have the momentum here, Rocky. That's how I'm viewing it, is the momentum kind of stalled out. It would have been fine if the momentum was there. PA going lower to overnight VWAP 1.5. May have entered early on the green candle, had 28-point stop, almost didn't take because stock's coming down as well. Messing with the old noggin. IB strat is IB strat. Have the stats that were shown, so pulled the trigger. Rest of the story is on the chart. Leaving runners to play out. Since I cannot be at the computer, I'm okay with the consequences. Okay. No, I like this, Rocky. Sell at the 0.2. I think okay, so if you're using the 1 hour IB, these levels are correct, but I was using the 45-minute IB stats. Yeah. I mean, you fucking bottom tick that. You bottom tick that shit. 68 points, MNQ. I like the trail. Like the limit sell. I think this hit all the way for you. I mean, crazy trade. Good trade. How many more of these do we got? Okay, cool. I can go warm up my food in a second. I spent the entire day waiting for this trade without hitting a button. When the market opens, the IB starts to be very bullish as the price rises sharply. Low volume nodes are created, of which I mark out 2 relevant ones. Wait for a pullback within the IB and then bounce off that level. Breaking the IB high along with the extensions, the price breaks the IB without making that pullback. But I don't despair. I sell my hands so as to not touch anything until it reaches that level. If the price never pulled back to that level, then I wouldn't have any trades that day. I felt fine with that. When the price breaks the IB, it doesn't even touch the 0.2 extension and begins to slowly retrace. At one point, it seems like we had reached a level where it pulled back and looked like it was going to shoot up. But it was at the 0.236 of the fib, and for me, there was no confluence. So if it did shoot up, I would lose the entry, but that wasn't my setup. After a few hours, price finally pulled back to the level I marked. 0.5 IB fib, VWAP, low volume node created in the New York session, plus aggressive sellers unable to push the price down, plus CVI divergence, plus aggressive buyers entering. Trailed with the momentary low volume nodes that were created during the rally. These days are worth it, and it's all thanks to patience. 2.5 RR trade, plus 600. Okay, I like the patience. I like the entry. Clean. Very clean. Sorry for writing too much. I was letting my... No, it's all good, bro. It's all good. No, this is great. Like, this is... You framed everything perfectly. You executed when necessary, and you waited for it. This is... I might put it up as trade of the day, because, like, that's very clean. Just the patience of it. The entry's a little early. I did get an early entry on my Combine as well. My XFA I got a better entry on. But this was a clean setup. You almost got stopped. That's okay. The RR is there. Just targeting the 0.2. And up, 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 up. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say I'd like to see some trails here. Get the trail. Okay. I was about to say trail and profit, probably. Once this base forms, I would trail again. Okay, good. Edged your TP. Bro, it's hard to hold through when it edges the TP like that. If you get like 90% of the TP, just take it off. Is what I would say. Pulled out the magnet, bro. Yeah. I would have just TP'd there. Yeah, I mean, you made 900, solid. Shorter after, swept the highs and saw her defend at low volume node, cooked with Baron. Go, went long too. Okay, very clean. Yeah, this was a clean short, Jossie. I took that as well. Longed off 0.5. Initial TP was the 0.5 extension trailing under 5-minute structure as we got later in the day, decided to exit at 0.2 with, after a nice volume spike. Okay, good entry. Solid. Did you trail? Yeah, you did trail. Okay, lighter size cam. I like it. I like the trail up here as well. And then got out. Okay. Looks like we tried to short this a little early. Clean trade. First time doing a trade review. Let me know if there's anything I should add or take off. Set a limit order near the 0.5 extension. 0.5. It's just the 0.5 fib. And VWAP nearly got a perfect bomb tick with a 1 to 3 RR. Could have shot higher, but I chose to keep risk to reward consistent. I think this is a valid trade, bro. The only thing, I don't use limit orders. If you want to use limit orders, that's fine by me. I mean, this is a clean trade. Being a degenerate at end of day, market selling out and thought that was it. Looking at the 15-minute and 30 and 1 hour, well, that was a no. I need to be satisfied with winner for the day and cut it. Only lost 10 points after bounce from POC and still up for the day / week. I know better. Have to manage my emotions and urge to take another trade. Shout out urge to. Actually, Cam had the right stop placement on that IB strat from the 0.5 area. After I took my partial, I should have waited for the market strat. Yep. Yeah, Cam does have the right placement. DC trades, good shit, bro. Okay, what time was this at, Rocky? Because if this is the power hour trade, I'm fine with this trade. But the entry's up here. As we're close to that high of day, then our risk is lower. I don't think there's anything wrong with that trade necessarily, but it's if we are taking this, we want to get as close to that high as we can. So, you know, I would trust the stat on that one. It did hold until after close. The trade I posted up in the updates that ran for like only 30 points, but yeah, this is a little bit of a chase in my eyes. The entry's just late. Was waiting for the low to be taken out on the 15-minute FVG for buyers during equity open. Didn't happen, so risk very low because of FOMO. Worked pretty well. Okay, solid. This stop should be adjusted though. We shouldn't have our stop all the way down here. Pass an eval, one trade, risked 1,500 for 6K. Gold holding New York VWAP, sweeping London lows, entered after 5-minute closure. Upside target, Asia, London highs, upside liquidity. Okay. 30-second chart, I do not like that too much. Also tighten the risk as this goes in your favor. Just make sure you're securing some profit or risking off. Risk 200 for 3K, stop at the high because we're failing to make higher highs in an already existing downtrend out of supply footprint chart should fail buying. Yeah, this also reacted off the 0.5. This was clean, Jaren. I don't get why it doesn't show your P&L. Because I saw your account. Jaren made like 5K on gold today. Honestly, I think this is... It's not necessarily the best risk to reward trade, but, you know, the thought process is there. It's the thought process for this one. So, best trade of the week... Ryan caught a 300-point move. I think this is co-trades. 300-point move. Rocky P. This was a clean sell, bro. Good management on this. Great management on it. Jaren, 350-point bottom tick. Like, this is the bottom tick of doom, bro. Like, that's the fucking bottom tick of all bottom ticks. Would y'all hate me if I give this to Jaren? Yo, Jaren.
Yo.
I gotta pick a trade of the week.
I mean, bro, I caught 350 points off 2 points of risk. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I know, but do we want...
That was the craziest trade I've ever taken. Like, let's be real.
I know, but do we want to give it to someone else?
Yeah, give it to somebody else. I don't want it.
Well,
We can say that it was good, but yeah, pick somebody else. Definitely.
it's either Ryan or Co-Trades.
Let's see.
So 300 points from Ryan.
Okay. No. Yeah, okay.
He risked
20?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 13 plus 17, or 13 plus 13, 25 points of risk. 26.
That is a crazy trade. That's insane.
I don't like the management here, but maybe this is when he woke up. He saw it. And then he
Okay, now he
scaled out and
Okay.
adjusted the stop, so I'm fine with the management there. Clean. And then Co-Trades, I think this management's really good. Held it all the way through.
400 points?
Yeah, and he was managing it.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so even... It's a practice account, but it doesn't matter. It's a nice trade. Both of these. I think I might just give it to both of them. Because
Okay.
it's pretty
Yeah,
much the
fair.
same trade.
Yeah, both insane trades.
He actually had a better entry here. Okay, so
That's crazy.
Co-Trades. Okay, let me post this in updates. Oh shit! Why did I hop over to here?
I'm giving Uranus the spotlight.
All right. Have a good weekend, everyone. Looking forward to next week, getting back to it. But yeah, I'll making some YouTube videos this weekend, and we'll get those posted. All right. Thank you guys for showing up. I will see y'all later.
W.